So today we are here to talk about the embryology of the heart. There will be separate classes on this, but without understanding the embryology of the heart, it's difficult to understand the gross anatomy, and that's the reason we are studying it today. The development of the heart, somebody can go into this, starts with, there are two endothelial tubes in the cranial region. Okay? These two tubes, the second thing that happens is these two tubes, they unite in such a way that there are four swellings. So initially there were two endothelial tubes. These are called as heart tubes by side of each other. And these two heart tubes now have united. But their cranial ends and the caudal ends have remained separate. And now there are four swellings developed. The lowermost swelling is called as sinus venosus. Sinus venosus. Okay. The lowermost swelling is called as sinus venosus. Then is the common atrial chamber. Common atrial chamber. So this end is the venous end, and the cranial end here is the arterial end. Then is the common or primitive, another name is primitive ventricular chamber. Next is bulbus cordis. This bulbus cordis gets divided into two parts. Lower part, conus cordis. Upper part, conus cordis. Upper part, truncus arteriosus. Sinus venosus, common atrial chamber or primitive atrial chamber, primitive ventricular chamber, and bulbus cordis, lower conus, upper truncus arteriosus, which is continuous with these are the arterial arches. Okay, these arterial arches will go like this behind. Actually, there are 6 arches. Only the arch of aorta sustains. Remaining arches get converted into artery, their direction changes, they no longer remain the arch. At the venous end, there are 3 veins. There are 3 veins in the right and the left horn of the venous sinus venosus. Right horn of the sinus venosus and the left horn of sinus venosus. These veins are cardinal veins, umbilical veins, and vitelline veins. सीक्वेंस कैसे याद रखेंगे? अल्फाबेटिकल CUV ना. Cardinal veins, umbilical veins, vitelline veins. Umbilical veins, you know they are connected to placenta. Cardinal vein will form SVC. Vitelline veins form the IVC, terminal IVC. Now be clear that why they open into the right atrium. Because one is forming SVC, other is forming IVC. Cardinal is forming SVC, vital line is forming IVC. Vital line actually form the portal system also. Portal system, right? Cardinal are coming from body, wall. Umbilical is coming from placenta. Now what happens to the left horn? Left horn degenerates and forms coronary sinus. Yesterday we discussed the coronary arteries. There are coronary veins also. Veins in the heart. Okay, we'll discuss that some later. Now what happens to the sinus venosus? Sinus venosus. Now each chamber of the heart has a smooth part and a rough part. The rough part, we say primitive roads are rough. Rough parts of the heart are formed from the primitive chambers. The rough part will be formed from the primitive atrial chamber. Rough part of the atria from common atrial chamber. We used to previously teach that the common ventricular or the primitive ventricular chamber forms the rough part of ventricles. But nowadays they say that it forms rough part of the left ventricle and some part of the pollice forms of the right ventricle. Okay. But we used to classically say bulbus cordis forms the smooth part of the ventricles. Sinus venosus will form smooth part of right atrium. So I will come again. Smooth part of right atrium. So first, out of the four swellings, the first swelling from the downwards forms the smooth part. Topmost swelling forms the smooth part. Smooth part of atria, smooth part of ventricles. In between common atrial chamber form the rough part of the atria. This will form rough part of the ventricles. Primitive ventricular chamber. Now what about the smooth part of the left atrium? So suppose this is the left atrium and opening into it is a common pulmonary vein. The pulmonary vein is previously common like this and there are branches. So this much part gets absorbed into left atrium. So now we have the left atrium which was here. This part gets absorbed and we have four pulmonary veins opening separately. This is left atrium. Previously there was one pulmonary vein dividing into two, rather formed by union of two, formed by union of four. So this single and this part gets absorbed in the left atrium and now four pulmonary veins open separately. So this absorbed portion of the pulmonary veins form the smooth part of left atrium. So come again, smooth part of left atrium formed by absorbed pulmonary vein. Smooth part of right atrium formed by sinus venosus. Rough part of the atria formed by primitive atrial chamber. Don't say common, primitive atrial chamber. Rough part of the ventricles is formed by primitive ventricular chamber. Smooth part of the ventricles is formed by bulbus cordis and the upper part of the bulbus cordis. Now this is going to get divided into right and left atrium. So this truncus arteriosus will form ascending aorta and pulmonary trunk. See, ये heart का entry point. This is the entry point of from where SVC is being formed by cardinal veins, IVC is formed by the point. Am I correct? This is the exit point of where the blood is going to leave the heart. So truncus arteriosus will form two trunks, ascending aorta and pulmonary trunk. One going to heart, one going to the body. with this background, now we see how the common atrial chamber gets divided and how the common ventricular chamber gets divided. This is the common atrial chamber. Okay, now what happens is this tube gets folded on each other. Now I am not going to talk about how these foldings take place and how the atrial chambers go a little behind, ventricular chamber comes in the front. I am not going to talk about this. I am talking currently about just showing you a common atrial chamber. Yesterday we discussed about endocardial cushions formed from neural crest cells. So this we called as AV cushions. Endocardial. Okay. Here is atrioventricular valve, septum spurium. This atrioventricular valve means from where the venous, those three veins were there now. They were all opening in through here. We are not going to discuss that also at this juncture. So now we want to divide this common atrial chamber. So initially one septum comes from the top. This is called as septum primum. Primary septum primum. Next step, the septum primum gets attached to the AV cushions. But here, when this was septum primum, then there was a gap between it and AV cushion. That was called as foramen primum. Septum primum, foramen primum, and AV cushions formed by neural crest cells. Therefore, if there is any neural anomaly, we check for cardiac anomaly. If there is cardiac anomaly, we check for neural anomaly. But if the neural cells, neural crest cells are going to form the AV cushions. So, defect in neural crest cells, there will be cardiac anomalies. Foramen primum. Now, foramen primum gets closed because septum primum gets attached here. But in that process, it gets detached from the roof. Foramen secundum. Foramen secundum. Next step, you have to draw it like this only. AV cushion, septum primum, another septum develops. I have drawn it thick. Septum secundum. Septum secundum. Now imagine a thick secundum and a thin primum. So blood will be coming from here into the heart. It will be pushing the primum and going to the left side. Because why it has to go to the right ventricle and lungs? Lungs are not functional. Lungs need little blood for development and maintenance. They are not oxygenating the blood in the intrauterine life. Therefore, blood enters the right atrium, pushes the primum and goes to left atrium. Which is thick? Septum. Now, why I am teaching you this? Because without this, you will not understand the gross anatomy of the heart. When you open it, you are sitting in the right atrium and you are looking. What you see is a thick septum secundum like this, and below that the primum. After birth, this fuses. This foramen is called as foramen ovale. Started with foramen primum, then foramen secundum, then ended with foramen ovale. So this closes. If it doesn't close, it leads to patent foramen ovale. Leads to patent foramen. हृदय में छेद है, it fails to close. Now in our body it unites So therefore what happens is primum is thin. एकदम ऐसा thin. thick है. This is what I have drawn is interatrial septum. Suddenly we feel thick. और नीचे जो thinness है ना उसको बोलते हैं fossa ovalis. What is fossa ovalis? Septum primum. Septum primum. और उसका ऊपर का border, rather lower border of the secondum is so thick. वो secondum is thick. तो ऐसा लगता है कि ये fossa ovalis का surround कर रहा है fossa ovalis. It is surrounding the fossa ovalis. So this is called annulus. Annulus means surrounding fossa ovalis. Annulus fossa ovalis. You are with me on this? So we discussed the development of the heart. We talked about how the common atrial chamber gets divided. A foramen primum comes from the top, but doesn't reach the AV portion. So there is a formation. So septum primum comes from the top. So there is foramen primum. Then septum primum unites with AV portion. There is foramen secundum. So then another septum develops, which is thick. That is septum secundum. And so now this gap between secundum and primum is called as foramen ovale. After birth, primum unites with secundum. Primum remains as fossa ovalis. Upper border, lower border of secundum forms annulus fossa ovalis. Now, last 1 minute, I'll just talk about how the interventricular chamber, common ventricular chamber, okay, from the floor develops muscular part. Okay, muscular part. Ventricular chamber के ऊपर which was the other chamber? Next chamber was bulbus cordis. From there comes bulbar septum. It comes from the top. Now बीच का gap. Here there are AV cushions. These AV cushions proliferate in this gap to form membranous part. This is how interventricular septum divides the common ventricular chamber into two parts. Okay, so there are three components in development of interventricular septum. One grows from the floor, that is muscular part. One grows from the chamber above. What is the chamber above? Bulbus cordis. So comes bulbar part. In between is a gap where there are AV cushions. So they proliferate to form membranous part. So each ka AV cushions, if it doesn't proliferate, it will lead to VSD, ventricular septal defect. Ventricular septal defect. And if septum primum fails to unite with secundum, atrial septal defect. So we stop here. Thank you so much.